What's going on, guys? Welcome to Dime Dropper 24-minute recaps, episode number 14. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe on all platforms, YouTube at Dime Dropper Podcast. Make sure to follow us on Spotify, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, and of course, to follow us on social media at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Dime Dropper Pod. So today's recap will likely be under 24 minutes. I'm going to keep it a little shorter because we didn't have as many games to talk about. So let's talk about the one that just finished off, and that was the Lakers getting their second consecutive win against the Houston Rockets tonight in Houston, or second consecutive win against the Rockets. Was that the second consecutive win? Was it the Blazers before that? Nah, I'm forgetting at this point. It's all blending in. But the Lakers finishing winners, 117-100. It was men against boys, if I'm being honest. From the beginning, the Lakers were just all over them on defense from every single starter. Gasol. Let's talk about the first thing I noticed. James Harden, allergic to mid-range jumpers. I thought maybe without D'Antoni that would change. But you know what? James Harden, he doesn't even deserve me to talk about him right now because of the way he's not putting in any effort at all. He doesn't care. He doesn't want to be there, so we're not even going to talk about him. He might as well have just forfeited tonight. The rest of the team, John Wall, I'm a big fan of John Wall. I have his Washington Wizards shirt upstairs. He didn't look like he even wanted to drive today. I don't know if that's because this was my second time watching him. Obviously, the first one was against the Lakers too, because the Rockets haven't played any dime dropper teams, and he looks like he's afraid to drive, maybe because his injury. He just doesn't like, if John Wall's just going to be a jump shooter, then he's not going to be a good player in this league because that's never what he was good at. Anyway, the Lakers, though, Anthony Davis was in full effect tonight defensively, protecting the rim. So, yeah, when I saw James Harden getting into that mid-range or coming off screens, and the Lakers late switched it with Gasol on him because he doesn't want to take the mid-range. The Lakers are giving him the mid-range, and they know he's not going to take it. So he just doesn't, and he tries to go in on Gasol, and Gasol is very solid at, just using his body, staying vertical and taking hits and just kind of, making his body big, making himself big, I should say. And in the beginning, that's what was happening with James. And then AD was just getting his hands everywhere. LeBron was making literally everything. He's really started to perfect that right turnaround over the right shoulder, which, once again, what do I talk about all the time here, guys? Turnarounds, especially over both shoulders. LeBron doesn't really have that, but he has so much other shit that doesn't really matter. That right turnaround is already doing wonders for his game. And you know what? In my opinion, LeBron's been the best player in the league this season for any team. I just think he's been the best player because, I don't know, I feel like he's kind of just, no offense to the league, you guys are going to think I'm hating on LeBron by saying this, but I feel like maybe it's just because of the teams he's playing right now. But in the games he's played, he has seemed so far ahead, like mentally and strength and skillfully, of every team he's played. I don't know if that's because, obviously LeBron is, the best player in the NBA and whatnot, but it seems like he's just on a different stratosphere than the teams that he's played against so far. Like, they're just dumb. Like, they're just not very good. Except for the teams that have beaten them, of course. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's looking too easy for him at this point. He even had a little Steph Curry moment in the corner there. I thought LeBron was just in cruise control tonight. Listen to this, 26 points, 8 boards. His assist to turnover ratio wasn't very good, though. 5 assists and 5 turnovers, but the turnovers were so meaningless. They were just so ahead. Didn't really matter. 10 of 20 from the field and 4 of 9. Also, I don't know why he came back into the game. That was very stat pad kind of, like, I'm questioning that a bit. But, all that matters is the W, which the Lakers got. I thought Dennis Schroeder was so good today, defensively especially. Like, there was a time where Harden was trying to take him off the dribble, and literally no hand check, no nothing, just sliding his feet. Dennis Schroeder was, like, made him. And I was like, wow. Like, when you're making James Harden pick up his dribble without touching him, that's incredible to me, like, for any player. So Dennis Schroeder was awesome today for the Lakers. 14 points, 6 of 9, and 2 of 2 from 3. That is not, it doesn't get much better than that if you're a Laker fan for Dennis in a game like this when he's only playing 25 minutes. I thought KCP was fantastic on both ends, making plays, getting out and running, hitting his open corner threes. And, we got to give a moment of love for KCP because this guy came to LA and he was like one of the most, and rightfully so, shat on Lakers. He had horrible shot selection, just a dumb basketball player. And actually, I think LeBron did a good job of putting him in a box. I always talk about LeBron sometimes will do too much. But with the Lakers, honestly, since Vogel has arrived, LeBron's been honestly the best leadership version of LeBron James that we've seen in 18 years, in my opinion, because he's been very good at not doing too much and just picking his spots. And Dennis Schroeder has been, able to thrive alongside him, especially because when LeBron comes out, he really runs that second unit, which is like Rondo did that in the playoffs. But in the regular season, as you can see right now with Atlanta, he doesn't. He's like a non-entity in the regular season, Rondo. You can't rely on him at all. And Dennis Schroeder's been a breath of fresh air in this regular season for the Lakers, to come when LeBron goes out of the game to give him that, ball handling and ability to play pick and roll and not totally plummet. So AD also offensively, very easy, getting his buckets mostly around the rim. He only shot 1 3, 7 of 8, 19 points. Yet again, when AD shooting less threes, the Lakers win. I think is that a coincidence? No. Everybody was good for the Lakers, honestly. Kuzma, 4 of 6, 11 points. Montrader, 14. He's kept hitting that mid-range jumper, which is, something he only did once in a blue moon with the Clips. So that's a good sign for the Laker fans. You know what? Despite his stat line tonight, because I think most of these missed shots came in garbage time, he was 1 of 8 from the field. But THT, he's really impressing me with each game, especially his defense. He's got really long arms. He gets after it. Once again, he's a hungry young player with something to prove. I don't even need to get into the Rockets stat lines. I'm just going to talk about this one thing. Christian Wood, by the way, good player. But Steven Silas, Paul Silas' kid that's coaching this Rockets team now, this team doesn't cater to Harden's strengths at all. They have no spacing, really. They start David Nwaba. Shout out Santa Monica College alumni David Nwaba. But he's not a floor spacer. He doesn't offer anything offensively, really. He literally did not even shoot tonight. And, and John Wall is already not a shooting, like a guy that's a good shooting point guard. So right now, this team is not positioned around James Harden well at all. They play a much more, they're better in the half court defensively that I've seen in years past, but they just don't score the same, and James Harden doesn't care. So this Rockets team right now, when I did my preview with Nick, I chose them 9th because I just said there's going to be so much drama with this team. I don't know where to put them, but right now that's looking like where they're going to finish even with Harden because he doesn't want to be there. So we don't even want to talk about him. He's just whack. Anyway, good win for the Lakers. They look like right now, as I said in my season preview, the best team in the league by some distance right now. I just don't think any team is very close. Until I see them challenge them in a series, I think that this Laker team is far and ahead of the rest. Now, does that mean that they got way better? No, it doesn't, because I really think that they were somewhat far ahead of the rest last season too. So it's really just about what team is going to be able to match up with those Lakers. I mean, yes, you can say Miami was fully healthy, close to the Lakers last year, I guess, but I think if you think Miami was going to win that series, you're reaching a little bit, even though, I'm a really big fan of this Heat team. But let's move on to the Kyrie Irving situation. So it's been trending a lot today about Kyrie. By the way, to the live chatters, Super Chat is on. So if you want to drop $1, donate money, top up to the top of the chat, feel free to do that. I've had people asking me to put Super Chats on, and I did that today. So that's there for you guys as well. Anyway, Kyrie Irving. So he's been missing for personal reasons. At first, I thought maybe it's because of what happened in the Capitol and that Kyrie wanted to, make a statement about that or whatnot. And then we had the video surfacing late last night of him at his sister Asia's birthday. So, guys, I'm going to try to keep it as nice as possible because I have a reputation for getting really hard on players. But, Kyrie Irving, I said in the beginning of the season, he's starting to win me back over, but this is extremely irresponsible. This isn't right. He's got millions of fans and millions of people that are, want this guy to play. The Nets had last season was all about, let's wait till KD and Kyrie come back. And now that they're back and KD's fought really hard to come back from an Achilles injury, and this is what you're going to do. I don't know what's going on in Kyrie's life, but he was dancing at a party, and I saw him on Twitter again today. If you guys didn't see that tweet, go check it out. He was literally in a focus, Zoom group tonight about, it said it was civil rights or whatnot. And great, I love that he's, standing up for a good cause and he's doing something productive because that's bigger than basketball and his family is bigger than basketball. But once again, he is a NBA player that's getting paid millions and millions of dollars, millions and millions. I cannot emphasize that enough. The amount of money that these motherfuckers are getting paid in today's NBA to play basketball. You already have a shortened season. This is not okay. And it's not okay at all because this team needs to develop chemistry. And each game passing by, it's just, oh, who's playing tonight? Is KD playing? Is Kyrie playing? Are neither of them playing? They're already down Spencer. This is wrong. This is totally wrong. And, I'm not in a place to say, oh, screw Kyrie. What is he doing? But, it's just not whatever he's doing. He better have a really good reason, because at least tell us what's going on, or at least tell your team. At least let the fans know. I'm not a Nets fan. I don't care what Kyrie is doing. It has nothing to do with me and nothing to do with the Clippers. It has nothing to do with my team. But if I was a Nets fan, man, I'd be really like, what is happening here? You owe the fans. You guys are getting paid millions to play basketball. The fan revenue that's generated from the TV ratings and whatever are what's paying your salaries. You deserve to tell the millions of Nets fans what is going. If you have something personal, you don't want to play, you cannot play, you physically cannot play basketball, then that's one thing. But what he's doing right now, partying, and that means he's going to have to quarantine. Like, that is just tough, man. Kyrie is blowing it right now. Blowing it. And, he could come back and they could make it to the championship, and that could happen. But once again, I'm always under the belief of this. Charles Barkley used to say this, but he used to say, I hate when players and teams and fans say that our team is better than your record. Your record is your record. And I used to think, like, no, that doesn't account for injuries. But the longer I've been a basketball fan, the longer I realized he's right. Because you know what the deal is, guys? If your team's record is bad because they got injured, that means that your fully healthy team hasn't had that much time to actually play together. And your record is your record because that is the form of your team throughout the season. If you're, have injuries and stuff and your record is this and that with that player, well, you haven't had that player for all your games. And that chemistry is going to carry into the playoffs. The teams that are most well put together as a team, not the best individuals on a piece of paper and on 2K, whatever, is going to be the difference. Your record is your record, and it does resemble how good you are. It truly does. Because if you're not playing, then your team is not feeling the benefits of that in terms of chemistry. And if you think that you can come back and just play like that in the playoffs, well, it's not that easy, my friends. It's really not that easy, especially when their team is giving up the points that they're giving up. I watched their game against OKC the other day. It was pretty pathetic defensively. But I heard they bounced back in huge fashion tonight, and I didn't get to watch the game. So we're going to save that game for the next recap. So let's move on to a game that really took me by surprise the other night. I think it was yesterday. And that was two of our dime dropper teams going at it, the Phoenix Suns and the Wizards. And the Wizards didn't have Westbrook. And once again, they won without Westbrook. This is starting to become very telling, my friends. And I'm not doing it to hate Westbrook because you guys know I like him. But the way the Wizards played, multiple threats, moving the ball, not sticking with one guy. Raul Neto, really, honestly, as crazy as this sounds, I'd argue he may have had a better game than Russ had in any game. Because even though this eye-popping, what he was doing was he was being a threat to score. He was hitting floaters. He was hitting threes. I mean, how many floaters has Russ made this season? 0. I've watched all his games. He hasn't made any. Threes, not a great percentage. Raul Neto, on the other hand, was playing great in this game. And then Beal was doing his Beal thing where he is literally scorching right now. Like, Bradley Beal cannot miss. And his step back going left is lethal. Like, he is such a great, well-rounded 3-level scorer. And he has a funny demeanor about him. But the Wizards were just, like, energized. And, the Suns, they've had a slight problem in certain games. Like, I'd like to think Sacramento was one. And then the Clippers, then they played the Clippers. They started out slightly lethargic and slightly in this case, extremely underestimating their opponent because they didn't have Westbrook. But the Wizards came out firing. And the most concerning thing, if I'm a Suns fan, is that DeAndre Ayton actually made Robin Lopez look good. And we've been talking this whole season when we've been talking about the Wizards as one of our teams we're covering, that Robin Lopez has been such a liability, but they literally made him look good yesterday. Like, he was finishing tough shots off pick and roll. Some not too tough, some just like jump hooks or 6-foot little float shots with some nice touch around the rim. But he was getting offensive rebounds over this man. Like, he had 7 offensive rebounds. The majority of his rebounds were offensive. He had an 11-11 game, 5 of 6 on DeAndre Ayton, a young stud. Like, you guys made Robin Lopez look good. And Rui Hachimura is just good. He had 10 points. He had some 10 and 9 rebounds, of course. He had some really nice sweeping hooks with the left hand. Really nice. Denny Avdia had a solid night, but the one that, like, in the second quarter who really propelled the lead was Davis Bertans. He's starting to find his shot. He struggled a lot to start the season, but he was hitting from like he became Stephen Curry. Like, I know he does that occasionally, but some of the shots were literally, oh my God, were literally such quick triggers. And God damn it, were such quick triggers. Are you kidding? My fucking God. So annoying. Anyway, thanks for ruining part of the episode. Yeah. Davis Bertans played well, and the Suns, they were completely taken out of their game. So I don't know. They came back, and the first 17 minutes is what really killed the game for the Suns, because the rest of the way they actually outscored the Wizards by like 11 points. But they just lost it. They completely lost because they gave the Wizards confidence. Ish Smith, he was hitting everything. I mean, they were just literally hitting everything. 52% from the field for Washington, 44% from three. The Suns gave him too much confidence, and the Suns can't come out like that. And here's the thing. Devin Booker, he needs to be either D Book or Chris Paul. One of the two needs to be more aggressive starting out games, like scoring the ball. Because they're just, I don't know. Right now the Suns are playing a very let everyone eat kind of style. And, it starts out with Jay Crowder hits an open three, and then Mikal Bridges hits an open three. Then, D Book will score 2 points, and then Chris Paul will score 2 points, and then the bench will come in. But I really think that this team needs some kind of a routine to start games in ways, whether it be that D Book comes out aggressive and looks for his shot, or Chris Paul is a little aggressive, or they feed Ayton something, because it just seems as though there's not enough games where any of these stars, I should say, in Ayton's case, go off for like 30 or anything like that. Like, D Book hasn't had one of those games, and I feel as though it's because they don't make it like an emphasis to get going early. I know it's an everybody eats system, and that's most effective, but sometimes I think one of the stars needs to step up a little bit to start games in terms of scoring the basketball, because the Suns were just only 15 points in the first quarter. That's never going to get it done. And yeah. So the Suns with a really bad loss. I mean, 21 points. That was pretty embarrassing. They really made the Wizards look so good. That was the Wizards' best performance of the season. But Russell Westbrook, man, this is very concerning how much better they play without him. The ball moves because Westbrook just wants to pass to Beal. I've noticed that. He only passes to Beal coming off screens. And it's very Beal-centric. And it's like he's the only one that can score, and that they just rely on him. I saw Denny Avdia score on someone yesterday because I know he can create. This kid has talent. Like, make no mistake, the Wizards have guys offensively, but they need to be utilized properly. The ball needs to move. And that's usually what's the case with Phoenix, but it was a whole switcheroo in this game. So good win for the Wiz. I don't have any concerns that the Suns will bounce back, but I got to talk about DeAndre Ayton, how soft he's being, man. This guy is just kind of soft. Like, I really think he's so skilled and has so much potential, but like there's times where he gets an offensive rebound and like there's a guy on him that's literally either his height or shorter, which that means you have to go up because you're 7 feet with touch, and he doesn't go up. He's afraid. It's weird. It's really weird. He doesn't want to dunk. DeAndre Ayton is in jeopardy of being a bust with and it's not because of his skill. He has a ton of skill, but he needs to dude, you're the number 1 pick. Like, bro, you're nice at basketball. Can somebody tell you this? Like, CP3 might just have to shake him, until he does it. And CP3, I always say, he'll never let your team go down easily. And, he started trying a little harder and, being like, hey, guys, but I don't know what it is. But I feel like Chris Paul doesn't – maybe he's not taking, regular season losses as personally anymore. Maybe the culture has changed around the league where the regular season has been even more diminished in terms of value and how important each game is. But, in that situation, if the Clippers were ever getting beaten by 20+ when we had Chris Paul, he would, throw a fit in the middle of the game, if that was happening. He was a lot more calm yesterday. And even though he finished with a double-double, I don't know. I thought I'd expect a little bit more. But, he's at a point of his career where he's a little bit – he doesn't care as much anymore about little regular season games. The end goal and development of the team is what's important to Chris. So that's that. I don't want to talk about the Hawks too much. I know I laid into Trae Young, and he had a great game yesterday, but they also played against the 76ers team with 9 players. So I'm happy that the Hawks, Trae Young was doing his thing, and you can't guard the Trae Young pick and roll when he's getting in the paint, and he actually shot a mid-range. He actually shot a floater. So that's better. That's what I want to see from Trae Young, balance. I want to give a shout out to Clint Capella, who I haven't actually mentioned much in my reviews of the Hawks, but he's actually had a pretty quietly good season, just doing his double-double thing, 12 points, 11 boards. He's a presence around the rim, and he's a good roller. So Clint Capella's made his impact. And you know who's a real X factor for this team? Cam Reddish. Cam has been, when he plays badly, it doesn't seem like the Hawks win. And he played very solid the other night, yesterday. Even though he was only 1 of 4 from 3, but he was 3 of 8 from the field. He had 10 points. He was plus 22. He just seemed, more comfortable finding a shot. And then Trae Young, 26 points, 8 assists, 0 turnovers. That's the stat that stands out. DeAndre Hunter, 15. Everybody was doing well. Brandon Goodwin, the whole 9 yards. It was just a very easy game for the Hawks. They got hot in the second quarter. The Sixers couldn't guard. They were extremely shorthanded. It doesn't show me anything about the Hawks, but it's good because it breaks the losing streak and gets them back on track. They're now 5-5. The true test, though, for me with Atlanta is going to be how Trae Young leads going forward. And when he plays against these tougher teams, how is he going to respond? Is he going to go back to chucking and putting his teammates in boxes, or is he going to buy in and is the ball going to move? And are they going to fall too in love with the 3 like we talked about in so many games? So before we end, I want to just say big win for the Warriors the other night against Toronto. Steph Curry didn't have his best shooting night, but the attention that Steph Curry draws, he can literally go 2 of 15 and he still play well. Like, his impact is so positive. Everybody gets looks. Wiggins has been so good defensively, as I've stated so many times. But Draymond Green, the way he sniffed out that last play, like talking and like, okay, we switch here. He's going baseline. Okay, I'm going to switch here. Like, just masterful. Draymond Green. I don't know what else to say. And also, he once again proving my point of his interview the other day. People don't know basketball, to understand that it's not about the stats. You have to know about basketball. And that's what we know here on Dime Dribble. We know basketball. At least I'd like to think I do. So anyway, good win for the Warriors. They're completely showing everybody that Stephen Curry's supporting cast is not as underrated as people think. And yeah, so we're going to go to the live chat now on YouTube. Thanks for joining me. We finished around 24 minutes, right on the dot. Make sure to tell me what you think. We'll be back tomorrow with a lot more games, typical Wednesday night in the NBA. So stay safe, people. Peace. What's good, y'all? What's going on, Dime Dropper fam? The one thing that people feared would happen with Nets is happening. I know it's early, but Kyrie. I agree. Curry is making a statement this year. I said from the beginning, the Nets can be great if Kyrie doesn't torpedo the team. How's LeBron's MVP campaign going? I think it's going very strong right now, Sammy. We don't know what happened with Kyrie. Give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, the videos, though, it's tough to see that. Russ, man, he's becoming the post-point guard version of Ewing effect. It kind of scares me as a fan of basketball when a team plays good without their star player. What's the Ewing effect, Gab? Now, I know your hoops. Don't question it. Super chats are on, by the way. It's kind of early for MVPs. I agree, Jonah Kim. I see some pussies in the chat. What's up, Gracie? Man, Usman Khan, really a bitch. Wow, someone's got no pussy. Anyway, shout out Dime Dropper. But who you taking in a final series, CP3 or Rondo? And who's above who all time? Okay, I got CP3. Who's above who all time? CP3 because he's been more consistent throughout his career. And Jerry West to go. I feel like DeAndre Ayton has been disappointing, man. He thought he would have an all-star season. Is he being soft or are they just not getting him his touches? It's a little bit of both, Johnny. Hard to defend Kyrie with those videos. I agree, Gracie. Kyrie has burned his benefit of the doubt a long time ago around the flat earth time. Yo, Dime, are you going to be watching the OKC Lakers game? Diallo has been balling out. Dude, I agree. They were making, the Nets made Diallo look like freaking Donovan Mitchell the other night. That was crazy. I didn't know he had that in his bag. I know he could hit contested jumpers. But off the dribble at least, OKC Lakers. Yeah, I'll be watching. I'll watch all the Laker games. But there's a lot of games tomorrow, so we'll see. I'll be watching the Clippers. I'll be watching the Lakers. I don't know about any other team. I'm going to watch the Warriors game tonight, though, and the Nets game. So I'll bring you that review tomorrow. So we'll talk about the Nets win tomorrow, and I'll talk about the Warriors tomorrow. Hey, what the hell? Dude. Yo, you're the man, dude. Yo, for real. Yo, I gotta send you something, bro. Hey, yo, slide it. Hey, yo, do you have Instagram, dude? Whoever just sent me that. You have Instagram? Slide me in the DMs, bro. I gotta send you something for that shit. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much, bro. I can't even believe it. Wow. Bro, you need to get, I'm giving you something, bro. Whether it's are you a LeBron fan? I have stuff to give you, bro. Like, wow. Thank you so much. I knew you liar. I've never even seen you comment, dude. Who are you? I've never even seen you comment. You inspired me to start my own sports podcast called The Gully Scorecard. Yo, is that on YouTube? Whatever platform that's on, I will subscribe, bro. Thank you so much. I gotta go back to the comments though. Raps by far number one team right now, dude. You're in the doghouse. This Heat team is driving me crazy, dude. Z Visions, bro. It's the Corona, man. I need those Heat coming back. How about the first guys? I don't think you Laker fans understand what a selfie is. A selfie is a self-taken picture. That's not what the Clippers put up. Thanks, Gracie. I appreciate the send. Yes, they aren't even selfies. Thank you. Let's go, Clippers. 2021 champs. Jesus, I hope. While it's been confirmed that Drake was not with Kyrie, it was still a dumb idea for Kyrie to do what he did. I agree, Showtime. We have cousin Showtime and we have cousin Showtime and we have Nick Showtime. Showtime Nick. Damn, big dog, go easy. You're doing great. Don't talk too much shit to the haters. Love you, brother. Yo, dude. Wow. Let me see. India rupees to US dollars. Oh, it's $2? I thought it was $200 for a second. I didn't recognize the sign. Bro. Oh my God, that's hilarious. I'm all for spending time with family. I'm all for having fun as an extrovert, but deliberately break COVID protocols. Yeah, I agree. Dude, Usman Khan, what's wrong with you, bro? Do you need a girlfriend? When a team plays better without their star player, that late 90s when Ewing was plagued by injuries, the Knicks. Oh, okay, I feel. Broke peasant. Jesus Christ, dude. Somebody needs a life. Clipper fan for life. Sorry, it's not 200, but here you go, fam. Dude, somebody needs to get pussy because they are really mad. Or some weed. I don't know what you need, man. Do you watch any NBA YouTubers? Yes, some, I guess. Just love your grind for doing this so consistently, Dime. I hope this podcasting blows up for you, Chief. Hey, thanks, Kyoy. I really appreciate that, boss. You're the man. It will blow up. We are gonna blow up, guys. We went from 200 views to 2,000 in like a couple of months, and we're gonna blow up, bro. It's just a matter of time. Just wait till we see what you don't understand what kind of things we have in the works here. Like, I'm not joking with you guys. Like, it's going to get very real very soon, especially when it comes to the offseason. By next season, who knows where we're going to be. We got to get 5,000 subscribers, though, guys. Just remember, whoever you guys are, tell all your friends, tell any basketball fans you know, like, check this out. Like, come check it out with us. We're talking about all the teams. We're trying to be interactive. We're trying to get better. We're trying to make, money for not make money, trying to talk about old basketball, new basketball, keeping the memories of great basketball players alive that don't get talked about, everything in this channel. But yeah, Usman needs a life. Nuggets, slower start to the season, but hey, man, it's it's funny. Nuggets will be okay. What do you see right now that can make the Clips better? Reggie Jackson off the team and a backup point guard. And honestly, as much as I like him, maybe Lou will, dude. Maybe. It's the thought that counts, I guess. Yeah, and thanks for sending me money. 200 rupees. Thanks for sending me money, dude. I can't. My eyes are terrible. I have really bad eyes. Like I have like a -6 prescription, so I couldn't see I couldn't see if that. I thought that was pounds, dude. I didn't even know. As a Lakers fan, I never even cared about those Clipper pictures confirming the Laker grand. Yeah, I know. Showtime, Nick. Laker fans just be getting sensitive for some reason. They want to find something to complain about all the time. Who do you have as an underdog to beat the Lakers? I got Dallas. It's got to be the Clippers, right? I think we're the only team that can really match up with the Lakers. Like, dead ass. We're the only one. It's just a matter of if we get there. My Thunder about to get demolished tomorrow? Yeah, probably. But hey, yo, at least the Thunder have been, showing continuity. So, hey, thanks, Michael George. Go Lakers, but love the podcast, dude. I really appreciate you, Michael. I'm playing. No, you don't. Usman Khan. Hey, thanks, Kelvin. Yo, who's down to have a subscriber pickup game? Dude, I'm down. But I don't know, when it's a little safer, my parents not even gonna let me back in the house because I'm still living with them right now since I just got out of college. James Harden ready to go back to this. Dime Dropper, are you a stoner? Hit me in the DMs. Weed and pussy. Is it just me? Is the NBA not hitting the same? It's not just you, John Lentz. Yes, sir, Dime. Clippers getting that first seed. We'll see, man. One game at a time. LeBron was playing NBA Street Volume 2 in the first half. Dead ass, though, for real. James Harden. Yeah, I know, but James Harden looks fat, bruh. James Harden be looking fat. You're the GOAT. Are you in LA? I'm in LA. I don't know if you're talking. Gracie, are you talking about me or are you talking about the guy with the pickup game question? I'm in LA, yeah. Who's winning the East? I'm still going to go with the pick I made from the beginning of the season. I'm still going to go with Miami. And I'm still just going to go with the team that made it last year because I haven't seen anything from any other team to tell me that that's not going to happen. Let's not waste our time. Lakers winning the title. Laker Nation in the building. Ignore those trolls, bro. Your analysis is better than Skip. Skip, come on. Tyronn Lue's been great, Sammy. Most underrated player of all time, I say Moses Malone. Nah, not Moses Malone. I think Moses is great, though. I'd say Gus Williams, Clyde Frazier. I think he slept on. Havlicek, Bobby Jones, Norm Nixon is another one. There's a lot, man. There's a lot. Willis Reed. Willis Reed doesn't get his love. Sam Jones. That's another one. Moses Malone is a little bit underrated, though. James Harden is looking like Big Baby. It's time to educate casual basketball fans about what basketball really is. Thanks, Jose. Opinions on Warriors. Playoffs for sure, man. I had them 7th. Hey, guys, if you guys are wondering where I thought people were going to finish, listen to my season preview. It's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. My opinions have not changed. I'm sticking with my picks. Tyler Hero. I heard he played great tonight. Good. I like Tyler Hero. James Harden getting blocked. He was just ridiculous. AD had 5 blocks. Dang. 2 top teams are going to be Lakers and Clips. I hope, Gracie. Yeah, you Dime Dropper. I'm in the Valley. Yo, Gracie, what high school did you go to? Do you watch the NFL? Yes, not nearly like that I do the NBA, but I do watch the NFL, especially the Rams. Who is more overrated at this point, Kyrie or Harden? I'd say Harden, man. Kyrie's getting shit on a lot, so I wouldn't even think he's overrated. Nuggets are for sure making the playoffs, Seth. Do you think Paul George is an MVP candidate? Yes, the way he's playing right now, he is. What player would you say you base your game on? Bootleg LeBron. Oh, Alberto, you might be athletic then, huh? If they call you bootleg LeBron, you're probably athletic. They used to say Chris Paul and Darren Williams to me all the time. That used to be my comparisons I used to draw. Because I used to watch Chris Paul and I used to do the move. Like, one thing I always do, the behind the between the legs pass fake, when I take the other way, like getting in front of your defender and putting your butt in front of them to shield them. I do that all the time. What else do I do? That's basically, pull up mid-range off screens. I love to hit that. But I don't know. I'm not as strong like Chris Paul. Like, Chris Paul's a beefy guy. I'm not beefy at all. Darren Williams, though, I used to look up to Darren Williams a lot when I was a kid. Chuck has to be the best guy to talk basketball. I love Chuck. I think he's the most funny guy. What's something that Vince Carter could have done to expand his game? You know what, rag to bitches? I don't know, because I need to go watch more prime Vince Carter. Like, when Vince Carter was in his prime, I was very young, so I need to go back and watch. Braun or KD? No, I still got to go with Braun, man. KD needs to prove himself as a championship leader first. You know, Kelvin, I'll tell you who my favorite guys to talk basketball are. There's 3 of them that are the Mount Rushmore for me. Bill Russell, Kobe Bryant, and Jerry West. Those 3, like, they're the best. They're so smart. Kyrie disappoints the hell out of me with the antics. I know, man. Charles Barkley's great too, but I think Charles Barkley, sometimes I disagree with this. Like, literally, I mean, this is just, you're asking my opinion. Charles Barkley's great, but like, for me, Jerry West, Bill Russell, and Kobe, especially Bill Russell and Kobe. Jerry West has a great view of, like, I don't know, Jerry West is really smart, but Kobe and Bill Russell, like, every single thing that comes out of their mouth, I agree with, I feel like everything. It's kind of wild. I got Celtics winning the East. Okay, that's a good pick, Jonah. Tyler Hero made a bonehead decision at the end of the game. Top 3 porn stars. You're funny. Hey, Dime Dropper, my podcast is YouTube. You can check it out if you like football, soccer. I love soccer. I'm a huge fan. That was like $2, but worth a lot more here. You deserve all the love, though. Thanks. I appreciate you, Anuj Liar. Willis Reed, the only Knick to ever win the MVP. Yo, Bob Cousy gets his love, in my opinion. My dream is to go to a strip club with Jerry West, the GOAT, and throw some bands. Dude, that would be wild. I would love that. Dude, Jerry West is such a sav. Bro, Laker fans, please, if you're a Laker fan and you're in my chat, if you ever disrespect Jerry West, bro, because of what he said, grow up. Like, okay, his terms, he may not be on the best terms of the Lakers right now. Like, you don't understand how miserable that guy made himself to win for you guys. Like, miserable. And then he felt so bad about it, he became an exec to win more later. Like, you know what's funny is he's still, like, if I was to talk to him right now, like, I feel like he would still get sad about his career. Like, bro, he bleeds the Lakers. Like, he was the first Mr. Los Angeles Laker. Like, when the Lakers moved here, there was Elgin and Jerry West, but only Jerry West had been here since the first year of LA. And he was just like, I feel like he was an adopted son of LA from West Virginia at the time. I love San Diego Clippers better because I like the logo. Well, whatever. Do you think the Dream is a top 10 NBA player? I think he's 11th, Jonah. But Willis Reed, Finals MVP, and All-Star Game MVP in the same year. So, like, that's incredible. Hey, Dom Dropper, I watched part 2 of NBA Getting Better. You were talking about post-game, and you should have mentioned DeMar. He would have been great in the 90s. But here's my thing, though. Like, DeMar, I don't think it's the era that stops him. I think it's him that stops him. Because here's the thing. You don't even need to shoot a bunch of threes to be great today, in my opinion. Jimmy Butler scored 40 points in the finals without shooting 1 3. Like, AD's bigger, but I don't know. I think DeMar's confidence is just weird. Like, he just, I don't know. Sometimes he's on, sometimes he's not. He doesn't command games. A lot of my evaluation of a star is like, do you command games? Like, are you like a general that's like, if the going gets tough, are you going to be able to control and be like, yo, I got this, and like make a big shot? DeMar never does that for me. Whereas like any other great player does, even if they can't shoot threes. Like Jimmy Butler can't. But I think Jimmy Butler, like, he has this command of games. He's always had it too. I met Westbrook twice in 1 week, and both times he declined to take a photo with me. Damn. I met Westbrook too, dude, and he was actually very nice, but he was a rookie. He might not have been as entitled. When do you see LeBron slowing down? God, dude, I don't know. Looks like we got some stupid, dirty-minded kids in the chat. Who's winning the Super Bowl this year? I'm going to be biased and say the Rams. I've never seen a team as uninterested as the Rockets. You mentioned it before and this game. It showed even more that they were just uninterested. I agree, Showtime Nick. 818 Valley in the house. I see y'all. I went to school in the Valley. Does anyone remember Drazen Petrovic? Of course. I got compared to Klay Thompson. Ooh, that means you might be able to... Kelvin, that means you're a sniper, huh? DeAndre Jordan has a big future, though. What? No MJ on Mount Rushmore? No, this was my Mount Rushmore of talking about basketball. I actually love listening to MJ too, but I like the other guys more. Here's an interesting stat. With Jokic on the floor, the Nuggets have the second best net rating. Without him, they're 28th. That means that sounds like Jamal Murray needs to do better. Let's see how KD does in the playoffs without an all-time great team. I agree, Top Rivers, even though we never agree on things. Who's the GOAT and why? I don't answer that question. You should know by listening to me by now. Unless you haven't, then check out some of my episodes. Oh, yeah, Chuck trolls a lot inside the NBA. How did you become a Clipper fan? Gracie, check out my video. It's one of my most popular videos. After this is done, it's called Why I'm a Clipper Fan. Just look at my videos. Most popular. It's there. Clippers back then. What do you think about the Hornets this year? Very fun, exciting team, Gabriel, whatever you want to be called. Clippers back then, the Buffalo Braves. I don't know. They were still the Braves back then. Kind of like Jack Ramsey, who coached Portland in the championship. My guy, Gab Story, knows his history. Strip club with Jerry West. I agree with pretty much 95% of everything you say. You're my favorite person to listen to. Yo, John Lentz, man, I really appreciate that, dude. Thank you so much. Never slandered Jerry West. Laker fans should always love him. I agree, Michael George. Shout out to the logo. I still have a blue Jerry West jersey. I've had it since I was in 7th grade. Damn, that's sick, Showtime Nick. Not a shot in hell. That man is a legend and will be addressed as such. Laker for life. You better believe it. Bro, Jerry West sucks. Stop. Okay, that's Blazer Boy. We don't listen to him. Elgin Baylor, Jerry West, and Wilt was the dynasty that never was. How about that Batum three-point floater from the corner? Yeah, Seth, that was nuts. Jerry West, one of the Laker GOAT. Fully agree on your take about DeMar. Thanks, Showtime. Do you think Pau Gasol is underrated all the time? Absolutely. Pau Gasol is very underrated all the time, and it's getting more underrated all the time. And you know what's interesting, though? I know you went to school in the Valley, though, but what school, Gracie? Unless you don't want to say, that's fine. I think I remember watching an interview with Jerry West saying he almost left the Lakers to become a Clipper. The Clippers didn't exist when he played. Are you sure you're not talking about Kobe? Drazen was so good. Yeah, we're not going to listen to Vladimir. CJ McCollum is not an all-star? I think he is. Yeah, the Wilt, Elgin, and trio was supposed to be the dynasty, but being plagued by injuries forced Baylor to retire 9 games in the 72 season. Yeah, that's facts. My guy Gab Story knows his history. I did see that, rags to bitches. You put Kawhi on Clippers Mount Rushmore? Absolutely. I mean, it's not that hard to make it to Clippers Mount Rushmore. I already talked about Kyrie, Lennon Vidal. Wish Drazen wouldn't have died. I know. You think Clippers will win a championship in the next couple of years? Ugh, I don't know, man. It's the Clippers. Do you have a cool setup to stream these? Not really. I just have my computer. Mentality is greater than abilities. I agree to some extent, Jose Benjamin. I love Jerry West too. Blazer Boy's weak. I don't have a Lamar Odom Clippers jersey. My first Clippers jersey was Paul Elton Brand. Lamar was a little before my time. Jerry West tried so hard to win rings for the Lakers. Forever a legend. Facts. Dude, Pau Gasol was a beast. Absolute perfect number 2 next to Kobe. I see you, Alberto. Thank you so much. Yo, and I also think, though, as great as Pau Gasol was, I think as far as the number 2s on different teams, like different championship teams of like the all-time greats, Pau Gasol's not as good as some of the guys that other guys had. Like Magic and Kareem had each other. Shaq had D Wade and Kobe. And LeBron has had, I mean, I guess Kyrie Irving, yeah, that's a similar plane. But he also had Kevin Love, and they had D Wade and AD, and then like Wilt had Jerry West, like Bill Russell had Sam Jones and Havlicek, like a bunch of guys. I feel like Pau Gasol, as great as he is, out of the all-time like top 10 players, Kobe's number 2 was not as good as a lot of other guys. And Kobe, he led by example, man. It was called Archer. It wasn't really in the Valley, kind of between the 405. You probably never heard of it. I've heard of Archer School for Girls on the West Side. I was running a Lakers Facebook page back in the day, and when I wished Pau well when he went to the Bulls, some idiot actually said Eldon Campbell was better than him. Top 5 Lakers of all time. Not greatest ever players to ever play for the Lakers. Top 5 Lakers. That's a great question. This is my Mount Rush, like my top 3. No order, because they've only put on the Laker jersey. No, 1A, 1B, Magic, and Kobe. Like, we can sit here all day, but it's not even a good argument. As Cousin Showtime says, if you guys haven't watched that episode by Cousin Showtime called Cousin Showtime, go check it out. Clipper and Laker fan talk LA basketball. It's one of my most viewed videos. He said it to all Laker fans. That argument isn't good for Laker fans because Magic and Kobe sit on top together, but Magic and Kobe top 2, and then Jerry West 3rd, and then I'd say Kareem and then Shaq. That's my 5. Thank you so much, Vincent Pelaez. Look, what currency is that? PHP 149. Would you rather see the Clippers win a chip or have a son play for the Clippers? Dude, the Clippers win a chip all day long. David Robinson, super underrated. What's your fave Clipper jersey that you own? Probably my Elton Brand because it was the first, and it's the blue alternate that says Los Angeles in cursive. Most underrated fun Clipper to watch in the past 4 years, Luke Mbah-a-Moute. Yes, Seth Green. Oh, I'm going to take this to my grave. Luke Mbah-a-Moute is the best defender I've ever seen play for the Clippers, and I will die on this hill with that. I will die on it because he actually guarded the best player every game and took it like that was his sole purpose, was to play defense, and he was insane. He made LeBron look so bad one game. It was like the greatest thing ever. Do you feel like overseas players are taking over the NBA? Yes, because they're smarter than our players. 149, more like 10 cents. $20? Thanks, Jonathan Castro. Thanks so much. This is 20 US dollars, right? Just found your podcast, and it's got to be one of the best. Keep hustling. Big LeBron fan, but I like how you keep it real across the board. Thanks so much. A LeBron fan sending me money? That's insane. Powell made that game 7 truly great. Seriously, I just can't get over how good a game. That was the best, the most iconic basketball game I've ever watched, like in my time. Game 7, Lakers Celtics. Doesn't get much better than that. The Russell Celtics were so good. I know they were. Very good. Do you think the Wizards making it? Do you think it's still bounced back? I think there's a lot of time left still. 8 crash out. I vividly remember Powell hitting an and one and just screaming, looking like a monster. Yup, Jose. What's PH? Am I being dumb? Was just live with Clipper Dale. I've actually, Clipper Dale and I used to know each other, actually. Wilton, first of all, Blazer boys, this shows your little knowledge of basketball. I'm addressing you for once because you don't deserve to be addressed, but I'm addressing you for once. And he didn't score 100 points for the Lakers. Once again, brush up on your basketball knowledge. Philippines peso, okay. Hey, shout out for the Philippines. No, hey, yo, Top Rivers. I'm not saying he wasn't perfect. I'm trying to elevate Kobe's legacy by saying that I think other guys had even better second guys. Powell was awesome. Powell was the second best player on a championship team all day long. Powell is great. I just think that just shows you a testament to how great Kobe was. Like, he didn't need a third star or anything like that. He had Lamar, Bynum. He said, me and Powell, we're going to roll with it. And, like, the Celtics had 4 All-Stars on their team. Like, that just shows you the greatness of Kobe and Powell. Oscar Robertson is one of the... Oh, that's another guy I love listening to. Oscar Robertson's an all-timer. All Kobe fans say Kobe could have had better than Powell was great. Powell's one of the handful of players Kobe could have played with. Kobe could not be successful with other perimeter players. That's a claim and a half. Yes, Jerry West over Kareem, just because of the simple fact, Johnny, for me, that he only played for the Lakers. Like, that only playing for the Lakers is, like, for me, very big. Like, I just think that when you only put on the purple and gold, that's something else. That's just me, though. You can debate it all day. Kareem on the court better, but also, never mind. The reason why I'll take Jerry West over Kareem as a Lakers is because the exec. He traded for Kobe and he got Shaq and he helped build Showtime. So, like, Jerry West is arguably, like, low-key, he's so goated for the Lakers. Like, it's actually crazy. I do follow NFL. Just not as much as basketball. Yo, Dime. Have you strayed true to your world and not spent a cent on Clipper gear? I have, Michael. Yo, Dime, the more you bring up Blazer Boy, the happier he gets. Okay, I'm sorry. What are the chances that Westbrook gets dropped by Wizards? I don't think that's going to happen, Alberto. You ever get so happy when your team wins that you just want to buy the whole team's jerseys and stuff? No, never. Allen Iverson, I'd have to wait on that, my guy. I have to watch more. Yes, I say Jerry over Kareem because of his impact to his team. Kareem was already established when he was on the Bucks. He's been into finals with Bucks twice and winning. Dirk or KG? Ayo, Jonah, that's one of the toughest questions of all is Dirk and Kevin Garnett. I don't have the answer to you just yet because I didn't watch their whole careers. I only watched like half, a little less actually. Actually, no, it was about half. A realistic point guard the Clippers could trade for. I'd say George Hill, man. That's the best one for me. Who would you rather have, Hero or Kennard? Here, are you kidding? Dude, Kennard's good, but Tyler Hero's a stud. Can't wait till you get famous. Basketball media needs people who know that they're talking about. Thank you so much, Jose. KG for defense. No, it's facts. His team takes up the entire perimeter. Post players were the only guys he could have played with, and it's not just because he won with. I disagree completely with that narrative. His game takes up the entire perimeter. I don't know about all that. You don't like Kobe, Johnny. I don't know why LeBron fans just don't like Kobe. I don't know what it is, but it's cool. His game takes up the entire perimeter. It's a little OD. We would have a losing record right now if we didn't pick up Batum. Huh, maybe. Dirk did do more with less. It's a tough argument. How do you think Clippers would have been Jimmy Butler? Oh, my goodness. We probably would have won the championship. When will be the next Cousin Showtime episode? Love his analysis as well. No, Michael George, he's not a Laker fan. He's a LeBron fan. That profile picture's Fugazi. That's LeBron and AD. He's not a real Laker fan. D Wade is, I honestly probably would have him top 15, but I have to watch more basketball, Jonah. I love both Kobe and LeBron. I don't know why their fans hate each other, and I've loved LeBron even before he was a Laker. LeBron fans did not watch Kobe. That's why. That's true. A lot of LeBron fans didn't watch Kobe his whole career. Also, the East Coast people were asleep when Kobe was dropping 50 on dudes. No, okay. That's it for tonight, guys. Thanks for joining me. Tomorrow we're going to be back. Peace. Thanks for the money, by the way, guys. I really appreciate that. Thank you, guys. We'll be back tomorrow.